Yay, I think I'm here. If you're here, give me a shout out. Let me know. It's always interesting. I don't understand why. And eventually, I'm going to figure out a way to do this without using Zoom because it seems to be the culprit every time. But I am here a few minutes late. I apologize. Things that normally take me 2 minutes took me about 10 this morning. So, if you're here, give me a shout out, a like or a love. Well, or a thumbs up. What platform am I on? Oh my goodness. Yes. Happy Tuesday and happy March 5th. March 5th is a big day. We had a lot of things drop in the online store this morning. Good morning, ladies. Hi, Linda. Hi, Debbie. Good to see you guys. I dubbed this coffee and cards, but this morning it's Dr. Pepper and cards because I didn't run back upstairs to make a cup of coffee. So how are you? I'm really excited about the products in the online store, and we're going to play with the one suite today. And I'll tell you about my monthly class that I have going on with one of the other product groupings. But first, let's talk about the fact that it is March. And here we have March is just cards. So this class is free with a minimum $35 product purchase. If you're long distance, there's a $4 postage charge to get the cards to you. And if you place a $50 product order, you will also receive a pack of embellishments, which this month it is the petal pink and pretty peacock gems. These cards are perfect for any occasion, and they are designed, all the die cutting, et cetera, is done if you're long distance for you. So they're designed really for you to just put together and add a greeting to. So it's a nice, quiet. Oh my goodness, he's 9 already? Holy cow, Linda. Well, happy birthday to your grandson. These are really designed for you to just have a nice, quiet, relaxing time, putting some cards together and adding whatever greetings you like. You don't have to use the greetings that I've chosen. Of course, you can come to the class. It's all, won't say always. It is usually the second Wednesday of every month at 3 p.m. And it's here at my home in Dillsburg, or you can do a porch pickup if you're local. So, but that order does need to be placed using March's host code at addictedstamper.stampinup.net. So that one's a little bit of a fun fold. This, of course, uses the new beautiful zinnia paper. And then we just did a little flower on the inside. Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. There's that Pretty Peacock ribbon. This is from the Latte Love online exclusive products that launched today. It is another fun fold. And no stamping other than your greeting, because this you'll get a piece of the DSP to cut this out of. A little bit of fussy cutting. And then a great masculine birthday card. All right. So that is the Just Cards for March. And then let me dig in here. We'll talk about these cards that we did together last week to say goodbye to celebration, right? And we used the dogwood and the softly sophisticated and the trusty tools. And the winner of these is Carol Deegan. Hi, Betty. Thank you for sharing. And I don't know if I saw Carol hop on. She sent me a message over on my Facebook page thanking me for the reminder, which I just saw as I was struggling to get Zoom to work. But Carol, congratulations, and thanks so much for watching and commenting. I'm going to put your name on here. I don't know why I'm thinking I had to write something else. All right, so I will get these in the mail to you, my friend. Yes, please remember to comment, give me a thumbs up, be a subscriber. Even if you're watching the video after the live, you can do all those things because I don't draw until right before we go live. So you'll always have the opportunity to make those things happen. Hey, Corinne, good to see you. All right, and then let me just tell you a little bit about my Creativity Delivered. So I do a Creativity Delivered class every month, almost every month. It's about a $35 to $40 class, depending. This time we're going to use the new latte products, and we're going to create the 4 cards. Plus, there'll be a bonus project in your PDF that comes to help you put all the cards together. If you are a coffee lover or you know a coffee lover, these are great cards. You can keep them, you can send them over time, or you can make them up as a little gift for them, right? How cool would that be? Because there's also going to be a little surprise in your kit that would make the perfect packaging for your friend. Okay. So those are the 4 that you will actually get the supplies to make. You're going to get enough to make 2 of each card with envelopes. Sorry, my voice is funky. I haven't talked to anybody yet this morning. You're also going to get a bunch of product. So this is the new beautiful latte paper. And I'm sure that's not its actual name, but that's what I'm calling it this morning. Okay. So if you've never gone into the online store and checked out the online exclusive, today is the day because there's lots of product that dropped this morning. I think it's the most product we've ever dropped. Along with, I think there might be some new kits out there. I didn't have time to look this morning. Okay, and there you can see where we cut the cup out for that one project. And then, and it's funny, we had coffee paper years and years and years ago, and I love that plaid. And it doesn't have to just be for coffee, right? Some of these patterns are generic enough. You can use them for any designs. So you'll get the paper. Sorry, my voice is bad. You're going to get the swirl dots. These are really cute. They're real dark brown, and then they come the whole way down to color coordinate with the designer paper. And the Swiss polka dot ribbon. Brand new products. Again, it's $35. Oh my goodness, there's $9 postage charge. I'm going to try to find packaging that allows me to ship in 12 by 12 versus cutting this down to 6 by 6 for you. So $9 postage. If you want to use PayPal, you can. It's there's $3 additional charge for that because of the fees. I priced my classes really tight, so I can't always absorb the fees. So it would be 38 plus the 9 for PayPal. And the link is below in the description if you decide you want to grab that class. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Okay, let's talk about Zinnia now. Simply Zinnia. Cool stamp set with coordinating guys, of course. Hey, Sharon Rowland, good to see you. It is pretty DSP. Hey, Verna. Hey, there's Carol. So there are our dies. So we have everything to cut out our imagery, right? And then you have a ton of extra. So for your leaves, for your open leaves, you get some veins. You can create your own flowers using all of the pieces here. Here's a stem, the little stars or flower centers, if you will. So we're going to play with, not quite all of the dies, but quite a few of these dies today. And then the paper is gorgeous, gorgeous colors, right? Lots of flirty flamingo, melon mambo, purples, greens, pumpkin pie. Neutral, more neutrals, I think, on most of the one side, on most of the patterns. See, there's that one. But then I love this one. This is the one I used for the just cards, right? These are so simple because you just cut them in half and you can leave as much white or as, trim from the white or trim from the bottom edge. Put a greeting on it and you've got a card front, right? Hey, Debbie. I do too. I do too. There's cute little zinnias and then a nice petal pink. Melon Mambo. There's a color I haven't touched in a long time, guys, but I got to tell you, I pulled it out for this. And then just a neutral pattern on the back. And then our greenery. And then individuals, right? Because the first one was, this has the white background on it. And then gorgeous grape, which I absolutely love. So that's the paper. There are some coordinating embellishments, which I've already been playing with. And the melon mambo, the pumpkin pie, I guess that's lemon lolly. And I can never tell if it's got to be lemon lime twist, I would think. So lemon lime twist in the green. And we also have, it doesn't end there, right? We also have a 3D embossing folder that has the zinnias on the background. So remember, with your 3D folders, you just need your specialty plate and your base. And I did do one, but I don't know how well this is going to show. I should have done it in a different color, I think. Does this show up on camera for you? Oh, I'm way ahead. Here, I'm like done with showing you, and you're just seeing it. So give it a minute here to see if we can catch up. I don't understand that. It's kind of like TV. Don't we have the 10-second delay rule now on TV? All because of the wardrobe malfunction at Super Bowl how many years ago? So this is the pattern. I think you can see it a little bit anyway. And then that side is the raised side, but the debossed side, I think, is just as pretty. So you could actually use either side of this and it would be great. Okay. So those are the products in the suite. Lay those over there. I'm going to keep the gems handy because we're going to use those. And we're going to start with this one. So the really cool thing about designing this card is, first of all, we can save paper, right? Because I was able to cut the deckled circle right out of the center, and no one will ever know because we're going to layer our designer series paper on here. I cut a full piece to cover that Blackberry Bliss, but then I just trimmed it down to flip it so I would have the reverse side. And then we're going to bring in just a tiny scrap. Here's a great way to use up those little 1/4 inches, right? That we all seem to have after we cut cardstock. So that's how we're going to put the base together. But this saves you quite a bit of paper because that's a large circle that you don't have to cut a separate piece for, right? What's happening? Oh, I'm seeing red already and we just started. No, really, it's just the tape. I'll have to grab one because I used the last one I had over here. So it's rainy in South Central Pennsylvania all week. What's it doing where you all are? You have rain too? There we go. And then this little guy, I'm going to use some liquid glue because he's pretty tiny. He's pretty tiny. Oh, I forgot I was using him last night. Pull the glue covering that comes when you use your liquid glue, right? Oh. And then we'll just stick him right down here. Whoops. All right. There we go. And I'm going to lay that aside. I did go ahead and use the deckled circles. I've shown you those on several times. There's a huge number of circles in that kit, which is fabulous, right? I never remember. I think it's 14 or 15 circles in here. I have to get them on a magnetic sheet. I keep thinking one of these days when I'm down at the nest, I'll be able to take the time to do that, but haven't gotten there yet. But lots and lots of circles. So you can go really big to really small with those dies. And I'm going to grab, even though, because I didn't make my chamois wet, so let me grab a piece of scrap paper here to use to stamp the floral image because it is going to go off the edge there. And we're going to stamp that in Memento. because we are going to color that with some blends. In case you don't watch me often, I can't see white on white, which is why I'm hesitating because I'm hoping I hit the circle. Oh, I did. Look at that. Like I knew what I was doing, huh? Let me clean that because we're going to use that on another project. All right, so this one's going to color pretty quickly because it's really just the same color, but adding the detail. So we're going to do dark where all those lines are. You're going to see my head coming to the camera, I'm afraid, because I can't see this far away from me. I'm just adding some detail. So if you like to color, this is going to be a great one for you. And if you don't, then you can play with all the pretty papers. So I'm using dark Blackberry Bliss. And I'm just using it on the lines that the artist put into the stamp. You've heard me say more times than not, I love when they do that. So then I don't have to figure out the shading, right? And I know it's another flower stamp. We hear that a lot. But guys, I think I've told you too. The flowers, when we talk to Stampin' Up about it, and we do, trust me, they say that, but that's what sells. This one is unique, and with those beautiful papers, that embossing folder is to die for, right? And I think you'll really like it. What's wrong with my throat today or my voice? But I'm all gravelly, and I'm not even a smoker. Then we're gonna come back with the light. I always feel like I certainly couldn't sing today. Should be telling you a joke or singing or something while I'm coloring because it does take a little bit of time. So this is always a good time too if you have questions about anything that I can maybe field while I'm coloring. Don't make them too tough. Pat them on yourselves. This one has a lot of little spots and places, so I'm trying to not go color something I didn't mean to. It's hard to believe that in just a couple of months from now, we're going to have a brand new catalog too. So remember that retirement list will be coming out. If there's things in the annual catalog or the mini for that matter, because that will be leaving us as well, right? Make sure you grab them before, because so often things sell out pretty quickly. And I know sometimes we discount things and it's like, well, darn, I just paid full price for that. Yeah, but you got it, right? And if you really, really want it, and also, well, I don't think it affects our schedule here on YouTube. I was going to say, remember, I'm going to be away next week, but I don't think it's going to affect us here. It's just my Facebook schedule that gets impacted because of my Sunday night. But I will be doing my first Technique Thursday over on my Facebook page. I think that's the 21st. Is that a Thursday? Who's got a calendar handy? And that was dark mossy meadow, and this is light old olive. I will tell you too, and you can hear this one squeaking, so it's time to replace. When you have low ink on your blend, so this one has been well loved, well used, because I'm not the only one that uses my blends. I, of course, use them. I do ask my club members to bring the ones that they have, but if they don't have them, they use mine. And so they get a lot of use. But when they get squeaky like this, that's not really blending out that dark the way one that had a good bit of ink in it. So when you hear that squeaking, it's definitely kind of like, if you're not seeing it blend, because the volume of ink definitely impacts the way the marker works. It still colors fine, right? But it's not really blending out the mossy meadow. So keep that in mind as you're working with your blends and you're like, I'm not getting the same effect. Well, could it be that it might be time to replace the blend, even though you can still get color out of it? All right. And then the centers, I did not bring those pumpkin pie, but I did put a little bit of pumpkin pie in the centers and left the stars white. So I will go back and do that after the fact. We're going to mount that right to that Blackberry Bliss circle. And I'm going to grab my Berry Burst ink pad. So we're going to add a couple of the little butterflies. That's from the Painted Lavender set. We're using the little butterflies from the Painted Lavender set. Okay. So they're flying sideways practically, but they're flying. Okay, Berry Burst and I just always have to wear it. I don't know why that is. I'm gonna get it. I don't want to transfer it to my card, so let me do that. We're going to use the nested labels and we're going to cut out our tag. Nope, this is not the right ones. Okay. Modify. I'm going to banner my own piece. How about that? Trim that down. Thanks so much. And the thanks so much that I'm using comes from the Latte Love. So this is the stamp set. I think I showed you that earlier. Blackberry Bliss for our greeting. And then grab my scissors. Cut down just a little bit on each end. And we'll do our banner. So if you don't have a die that gives you a banner or a punch that gives you a banner, you can create your own just by doing this. And that is popped up. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals. We will use up our pieces. Yeah, it's cold and cloudy here too. I'm over it. I am ready for. I I never thought I'd live anywhere else but South Central Pennsylvania, but I think that time may come somewhere down the road because I just don't like it. Neither does my husband. I think he's more unhappy with the weather than I am. And we're going to add a couple of these gems, sequins, I should say. You do get small and large. We're going to use the small for this one. I'll leave them out of their packaging so they're easier to access for us. And then I think I used the stamp from the Zinnia set with gratitude. Or it says words fail to express my gratitude is what it actually says. And I did that in Berry Burst. And I'm going to do a couple butterflies on the inside here with Blackberry Bliss. Just to mix it up a little bit. And then you could stamp butterflies on your envelope to tie it all together. Or you could put one of the zinnia in the corner, right? And there we go. So that is our first project. I love that green background and I love that it reverses to this pattern, right? Okay. All right. Leave that somewhere where I'll be able to access it later. I'm not sure where that is. Why does it look like I'm frozen? Am I frozen, guys? Maybe not for you, hopefully. Okay, let's do the next one. This one we're going to play mostly with dies. How about that? And I'm using some of that rock and roll designer series paper. Any black and white paper that you have would work for this. Okay, good. Because I was frozen over here. So this is the rock and roll paper, and I'm just using thick basic white. My bone folder did not make it back here, I see. And I'm going to put, just because there's this little bit on each end that I didn't want the white showing, I just have a strip of basic black that I'm going to adhere to the bottom edge. Oops, of the designer series paper. Just a little bit. This is going to get mounted right tight to the fold. Which sounds a whole lot. Oh, thanks, Linda. There we go. And then, have no fear, I did do 2 of them in advance. So there's 2 of our flowers. My colors that I'm using are Petal Pink, Flirty Flamingo, Melon Mambo, and then the white is, of course, basic white, and the center is Pumpkin Pie. And I did go ahead and die cut and mount those 2 together, trying to avoid having glue all over my fingers and sticking to everything. Sorry. Okay. So I'm just going to put some liquid glue, and you could use your adhesive sheets for this if you prefer those. And we're going to offset the petals as best we can. Okay. And then we're going to mount it to the Melon Mambo layer. I was busy doing club projects yesterday, and I got this card out and I was prepping for tonight, but my mind was still on club, and I'm like, oh my God, how many of these flowers do I have to cut out? Very happy it was just to share with you. So once you have them cut, it goes together real quick, as you can see. And we are going to, and I also cut the leaves from the lemon lime twist. So we're going to, now here I'm going to, oops, let's put the lid back on this. I'm going to use seal for the lids, Yep, that's what I'm going to do. For the leaves, I always pick up the wrong end of the cap. All right, so the leaf's going to go off the side. So put some adhesive there. Just about like that. That one's going to come right here. Okay. We're going to go off the top. I'm not sure I'm going to make it with this adhesive. I think I'm going to have to get another one. And we'll do that one right there. And the last one will go across the bottom. And we're going to pop that one out right down here. So the 2 on the ends, I'm going to mount just flat, but I am going to grab another adhesive real quick. So I have one in my drawer. Sometimes I'm smart and put one in my drawer. That's the Seal Plus. Hey, that's the Seal Plus. That's fun. Didn't even know I had Seal Plus. Here's a question I'm curious about. Are you a Seal Plus or a Seal user? Which one do you use? Because I think you're either one or the other. I think you'll use the other one if all other options are gone, but I'm not a Seal Plus user, as you could tell by that. Seal. All right. I don't have a silicone pad laying here to get this started. There we go. Get this started on. And this one on this side is going to go on with seal as well. And then we're going to pop the one in the middle. Trying to keep them fairly even as far as depth goes. This one's going to get some dimensionals. Seal, seal. Glue only, Linda says. Is it the Tombow glue, or do you use the fine tip, or what's your preference in glue, Linda? And then this one's going to go right here in the center. I'm going to tilt it just a little bit so we get that angle on our leaf. There we go. So there's our 3 flowers, and then we're just going to layer up some flirty flamingo. I love pinks and blacks and reds together, right? Black makes any color in those color families just pop. You like the Tombow? So there's to use the seal. Yeah, I think seal's strong enough for cards too, Cindy. I like the Tombow a whole lot more now that I have that fine tip glue bottle. I could never control it prior to that. Apparently, I was in a very thankful mood when I was designing these cards, because this is the second thank you card. Popping that as well with some dimensionals. Oops. Interesting. We had a passenger stay on there, didn't we? I'm going to pop that right down here. And then we're going to come in with some of the pumpkin pie to pull from the center of the flowers. And I'm going to use a large one over here and a small one. And then another small one. So we need our threesome, right? Right there. And this one I just left blank on the inside. But you could do a 4th flower and put it in there if you wanted to. Obviously, you could stamp a greeting or you can write your message. So there's project number 2, using mostly the dies for this one, right? Yes, fine tip bottle does. Yep. Makes all the difference. All the difference. Okay. Last one. And on this one, I went with more of the beautiful designer series paper, some die cutting, and I die cut the flower image out. But don't panic, I've already colored it. So you don't have to sit and watch more paint dry. And it's a fun fold. So it sits up like that. It's a hello there. You can turn it into a thinking of you, a birthday card, a what's up, how you doing, whatever you like. Okay. So for the fun fold, I just cut 5.5 by 8.5. First score is at 4.25, and then I scored 2 1/8 from the edge. So 2 1/8 in from the edge, and fold just like you would for a normal card, and then fold the front flap back on itself. If you don't want to score it, you don't have to. You could just fold it back on itself, but I like the crispness of the score, so that's why I scored it. And then I cut a piece of this beautiful paper. I hate to cover up my purple, but I'm going to. And we're going to put that right in the back section. That corner does not want to accept any tape. I will not let it beat me. Okay. I use the Countryside Corners dies to cut an old olive layer. Just going to go right in there. And then we're going to stamp a flower down here in the corner. We're going to use that berry burst again. I stayed true to the colors in the designer series papers. Let's turn it in the right orientation. There we go. It's a nice crisp image. Center that. And then we'll center that in the back. Actually, I'm not going to mount that yet. I'm going to show you a trick for that. Okay, so I did color, right? And I wrote them down. No, I didn't. I thought I did. Yeah, I did. I used light old olive, light mossy meadow, light berry burst, light and dark berry burst, light and dark blackberry burst. Oh my gosh. Light and dark berry burst, light blackberry bliss, light highland heather, and light and dark daffodil delight are the colors that I used in this. And we're going to mount them on another set of the Countryside die cuts. I have a strip of the designer series paper here. Let's go ahead and mount that to the front flap. I'm not really sure there's a right or wrong way. It's just when I look at it, what looks like it should be at the top versus the bottom. All right. So we're going to grab the dies, and I'm just going to die cut this. You have a paper fetish? Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of us do, Cindy. I love this paper too. And I didn't think I was going to when I first got it. I was like, oh, okay, it's a little bright and out there, but oh my gosh, it is so pretty and so much fun to work with. Sometimes it's good to leave your comfort zone. Right? I'm a Regals girl. I think every one of us probably has, the majority, we probably have a color family that we gravitate towards, right? I think that's why I really love that Stampin' Up! Started introducing the in color families every year. Because I do. I'm a Regals girl, and I'm a basic white girl. I rarely use vanilla. I literally have to make myself think about it, except for during the fall. In the fall, I tend to use it, right? But when they introduce the in colors, they often will complement core colors that we already have in the families. And so you get to bring in something new and different. You didn't get it because you thought it was too bright? Am I changing your mind, Corinne? We're going to stamp hello there in the berry burst. going to keep it real low down here in the corner. All right, and then I did not pop these, so they're just going to get mounted flat. There's got to be a... I really want to know if it's the cats or my husband coming into my studio and stamping. Truthfully, I don't think it's anybody, but when things aren't where I know that I put them, I have to question it. Like, which one of you cuties? Now, this is going to go, sorry, this is going to go on the front flap. So we're only going to put adhesive on the back left side, right? And then I'm going to flip it over. I can get rid of my note now. Oh no. I've done that. I have absolutely done that. Or I'll think, oh, I don't really like the stamp set, so I'm just going to get the dies. But then I end up going back and buying the stamp set separately, right? Yes, I'm right there with you, honeybee. Oh, okay. So now here's my little trick for mounting this and making sure that it aligns. We're going to lay it, and you've seen me do this before if you follow me. We're going to lay it right on top of that other one and close. And then we're sure we have perfect alignment, right? So you cannot see that it's back there until you open your card. And then last thing is our gems. And we're going to mix these up a little bit. And we're going to put in a berry burst. And another green one. Because I didn't use any pumpkin pie on this. So we're going to go with another light lemon lime twist right here under the flower. All right, so there is project number 3. And there are so many more ideas floating around in my head. It's not even funny. But we'll bring in the other ones that we did. There's that one. And here's this one. So what do you think, guys? Apparently I liked Berry Burst because I used it for both of my 2 of my card bases. Have I sold you on the Zinnia Suite? Be sure to go to the online store today and check out all the products that were added. I showed you this one and I showed you Latte, but there's a ton more out there. And they are while supplies last. So make sure you're checking them out. You're getting an opportunity to purchase them if you would like to. Remember, with your minimum $35 product purchase using that host code, you're going to earn that free class. And who doesn't like free, right? So get out there, check out all the goodies out. There's all kinds of stamps out there and other kinds of goodies too. So, oh, thanks, honeybee. All right. Hey, have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and then make sure you ring the little bell because that's what notifies you when I'm live. And if you're watching after the video, please, or after the live, please do all of those things and leave a comment because everybody gets entered into the drawing for the cards that I made today. Have a good one, folks. Thanks again. And I will see you Sunday night over on my Facebook page. Take care. Bye.